What's up, and welcome back to the Run the North podcast. I'm kind of your host, the Geek Slays, joined as always by Miller. Jake is busy with something this week, not really sure.
Is he ever
That's
not
okay.
busy?
That's a fair point. This week, we're going to be going over our top 10 defensive tackles and defensive end / edge rushers. But before we get into that, Miller, how you doing?
Tired.
Yeah, it's
Very
like we just
tired.
played D&D.
Yeah, we did. And also, we are currently live over on your Twitch channel. Big
True.
plug.
Been
Probably,
live for a while.
not probably, will be 100% when this goes up.
Oh yeah, no, I'll still be live in,
Yeah.
8 hours or whatever.
So, if you want to pop by, say hi to Geek in real time,
Ah,
yell at him for these rankings because they will suck because of him. By all
what do you
means.
mean? I'm the one that's correct every time.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Whatever floats your
Hey
boat.
man. Hey man, you can't yell at me. I was cool. I was the one who was cool with putting Cole Kmet all high.
Yeah, and apparently that's a fucking problem, which,
Yeah, so maybe I am the goat.
no, maybe the internet's just stupid.
No, maybe I'm the goat.
The geekest of all time.
Maybe.
I'll give you that. No, Simone
Yeah,
Biles is the GOAT.
that's fair.
Like, genuinely, probably the greatest athlete of all time.
I don't know about greatest athlete. That would be Michael Phelps.
Maybe I'm wrong because I don't know a fuck ton about the Olympics, so excuse me, but I don't think she's far off medal wise.
Yes, she is.
Is Michael Phelps really just like that?
Yes.
I accidentally have my caps lock on, so it looks like I'm yelling.
Oh, yell.
Okay. So Michael Phelps has 23 gold.
28 total.
Yes. Um, maybe no. The female swimmer. Fuck, what's her name?
Katie Ledecky, she's only at she's up to 13 total today, still 8 gold.
Oh damn. Oh yeah, and
Or
she's
it might be 9
seventh
gold and
all
14 or
time.
something. Yeah. The guy in second has 9 gold, 10 total.
Yeah, and
I don't know
Simone,
where Simone's at, but there's
she
not
has
as many
9.
gymnastic events.
She has
Yeah.
9 total.
So, yeah, not even half.
Yeah, never mind.
Almost only a third.
I was apparently not familiar with Michael Phelps' game. Okay.
No, Michael Phelps is just like that.
I don't know
Yeah.
fuck shit about the Olympics, dude. I don't follow.
Dude won 8 gold. Dude won almost as many golds in one Olympics as any other Olympian ever has ever.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude, Michael Phelps is just like that.
It's so funny that he kind of looks like Eli Manning. Like, they could not be more opposite.
Fair. But yeah, Michael Phelps is just Timothy.
So let's see what has happened in the past couple weeks that we should talk about.
Oh,
DJ Moore got
yes.
extended. Big
DJ
money.
Moore got extended. All of the rookies finally signed their rookie deals.
Yeah, JJ was
Caleb-
the last holdout.
Well, so JJ, Dallas Turner, and Caleb Williams were the last 3.
Yeah, and Caleb signed
It was-
before JJ. I don't know about Dallas
Yeah.
Turner. I don't know where he was.
I think
timeline wise.
Dallas and JJ signed at like the same time
So,
because they had the same hang up
mhm.
of they wanted like all of their signing bonus guaranteed or whatever, and Minnesota didn't really want to do that.
Mhm.
But I mean, it never got to the point of a holdout, which has happened before. It happened with Sam Darnold on the Jets. So
funny.
yeah,
Maybe not a good precedent. Not
well,
a good
it's
club
fine.
to be in.
It didn't lead to a holdout. So we're fine.
Um,
We worked it out when it
I
needed
do
to be
just want to
worked
say
out.
though, and Geek, I'm not saying this is how I actually feel, but anyone that was calling Caleb a diva for holding out, or not holding out, but taking forever to sign, which there were way more than you'd expect.
Yeah.
Just want you to know that JJ McCarthy, by that logic, is an even bigger diva.
Fair. Technically, by that
Yeah.
logic, you're not wrong. That logic's stupid, but
Yes, it is. I love the Caleb Williams as a diva narratives because they get proven wrong like every time the man speaks or anytime someone speaks about the man. Like
yeah.
Demarcus Walker went off on the media about it, or not went off, but like told the media like this kid is not what you think he is. Multiple other players have said that. Kevin Byard came forward and was like, "Listen, he's a hell of a leader. You know, I was telling you off camera, or not off camera, but off recording. I was telling you on stream about the whole picking up trash thing. Kevin Byard was like, Caleb Williams told us to start cleaning up better after ourselves and shit. I just, it's so funny
Yeah.
that the media wants him so badly to be a diva. It's just like, no, he's just Caleb. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I've loved watching some of JJ McCarthy. I am really annoyed at all of the Broncos fans, though.
Well, as per usual.
Randomly tweeting about, well, they're just randomly tweeting about JJ. Like, yo, this guy. They like posted a whole thing about how he's only hitting his first read in training camp. Like, when like that's kind of the entire point of how most of these drills are going.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're supposed to try to do this thing. But even then, half of it's just wrong. They're just like not actually watching, which is fun. But they're like trying to hype up Bo Nix. It's been weird. Outside of Caleb, well, I haven't heard anything about Jaden Daniels, but none of the rookies have actually looked that good in camp, which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But if I hear one more person say Drake May during practices is facing a better defense than what JJ McCarthy is, I'm gonna lose it, because maybe there is more talent in New England. Maybe you could argue that, but I don't care, because literally all anyone's talked about at Vikings camp is that Brian Flores has been a complete psychopath with the looks he's giving quarterbacks, which I think is great. Make Sam Darnold and JJ's life harder in training camp than it will be during a game. Do that. You know what I mean? That's just good preparation. Miller's trying to think about which defense has more talent.
I am. I'm genuinely not as like an anti-Vikings thing. I'm just curious for my own sake.
Like, I think the genuine argument is New England definitely has the better corners, which is realistically what matters more in these situations.
Corners are better. I think their overall linebacker core is better. Ivan Pace is the best individual linebacker out of the group.
Yeah, but what about Blake Cashman? Is that right?
I forgot they added Cashman. You're right. It's closer than I was making it out to be. I think I'd still take New England. Because I like the way they complement each other.
There was definitely additions. There was also the other Texan, Camu
Grugier.
Yeah.
There's legend. And then interior D-line, I was going to say New England, but until we know what's going on with Barmore.
Harrison Phillips. Yeah. And that would be the swing at this point. Until we know what's going on with Barmore, Harrison Phillips swings it. Edge rusher's weird because Judon might be gone.
Yeah.
And if Judon's gone, I mean, Grenard, Van Ginkel, and Turner is a better crew.
I still think that's a better crew either way.
Maybe. It's just with Judon, you could at least have a talk, but until we know if Judon's there, it's not really even kind of a consideration.
Yeah.
Me.
Agreed.
And that's just because Judon's an all-pro, so.
Is Judon actually an all-pro?
I think he has been. I'm almost positive.
That is not something I knew.
But all-pros, do they really matter? Every weirdo's an all-pro.
4-time Pro Bowler.
No, I swear he was. I swear he was an all-pro.
4-time Pro Bowler.
Why can't I find Pro Football Reference? No, you're right.
Huh.
Weird. I guess there's not that many edge spots anyways.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird how stats work.
Yeah.
Or how those end up working out. Because, like, 2022, who were the All-Pros?
I don't know offhand.
Now I want to go look.
I'm
checking.
And then I guess this will be a good segue into talking about our top 10 edge rushers.
It is. It is. While we're thinking about it, is Judon in consideration?
Well, going by the logic we've been using now.
True.
Injuries.
That's actually
healthy,
really valid.
Certainly, without question, he's a top 10 edge. But health matters quite a bit.
It doesn't want to show me the entire All Pros list, which is goofy.
What are you looking for? 2022?
Yeah, if you want to find that, I was
2022. Okay, so Here, this is Pro Football Reference. 2022, the edge rushers were Micah Parsons. I was lied to.
Ah.
Because it says in 2022 he wasn't all.
I swear he was. Now I'm confusion. Was he not an AP All-Pro
That
or
must
what?
be it.
So he was voted All-Pro somewhere else. Yeah, because he was 4th in sacks that year.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, because that was his 15 and a half. Reddick had 16. Garrett had 16. 18 and a half from Nick Bosa, who I think won DPOY.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I have 20 names written down.
Okay.
I don't know if you did the thing where you pre-made your list.
I didn't pre-make my list, but I have a pretty good idea of who I'm putting.
Like, I don't have an exact order. This is just straight up 20 names
Okay. So
that are guys who I think should be at least referenced today.
uh-huh. So starting with our usual shtick of our
Yes,
like
the
locks.
locks.
Micah, Miles Garrett, Bosa, Watt, Crosby, and then I would say Hines Allen as well.
I would agree with better Josh Allen, but
We have to use his preferred name, Joshua Hines Allen.
that's fair. But I think I want to keep saying better Josh Allen
Okay.
because it's funnier.
Yeah. So there's our 6.
Yes.
Name I immediately want to toss out. Not when I say toss out, I mean take out of contention, because I know he's going to be a name that's going to be brought up, and there's already a certain fan base who's probably pissed off a lot with these rankings. Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
No.
I have him written down, but like I'm not considering him either.
Yeah.
Not like that. I still would argue that he's not even the best edge rusher from his draft class yet. Don't know if he will be. I still think it's Kayvon.
I'm just not familiar enough. I honestly don't watch enough of the Giants defense to have like a real opinion there, so I'm not going to agree or disagree.
Sure.
And
do you want to start the argument with this guy now or wait?
What, Gary?
Yes.
Look, I've been thinking about it because, for those who don't know, Geek and I go back and forth about Rashawn Gary all the time.
And okay, Rashawn Gary, if he could stay fully healthy, truly for a full year, could be great.
Yes.
He has all the talent in the world.
Yes.
But we still have never actually seen him put it all together, not one time.
And I think for the precedent we've started for this list, for that reason, I'm not going to argue that he should be on it.
Sweet. I thought this was going to be a much bigger fight today.
No, just because I'd thought about it, and this is the kind of the same thing for me. How do I want to put this? I don't know. I can't think of a good comparison, but like if I were making my own personal top 10 where I wasn't taking injuries into a massive consideration, right? You know me, I'm film, I'm talent over production 100% of the time. Gary would be in my top 10. However,
and I would understand the argument and we could really work out where he goes.
But for the precedent we have set, I just don't think he fits.
That's fair.
Now, another name that I want to throw out that we're not going to be able to put in the top 10 for a very similar reason, Jalen Phillips.
Yep, I also had his name on my list.
Fucking incredible in Miami. I would say talent-wise, I would go as far to say he's in the next tier of edges. Like, obviously, I would say, for me, in no order, Parsons, Garrett, Bosa, Watt, Crosby are the top tier of edge rushers.
Yeah.
Then that second tier would be like Allen, would be Phillips, would be a couple other guys we'll talk about. Like that.
Did you say Crosby in the first tier?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't hear you, so that's my bad.
I'm interested to see where you'll want to rank him because I feel very strongly about Max Crosby.
I mean, I think there's only one spot he can go, but that's just me.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see where we're at there.
Yeah. I think so this is a name that I know you're going to love that I say, but not for actual top 10 consideration, just like good young player. That would be that one man in Buffalo.
Yes, Gregory Rousseau. Yeah, I don't think
he's not there yet, but
he's on the rise.
He's literally the last guy I had on the list.
Beautiful. If we're just knocking out young players, Will Anderson also has to be brought up.
Yep.
And I think
for the same reasons as Laporta and basically everyone outside of Bijan. Because did we end up putting Stroud at like, we haven't done quarterbacks yet. Never mind. So no, we haven't pushed Stroud anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think we owe Will Anderson an apology here.
Yeah, we do.
Because, like, dude, he was ridiculous last year. Yep. I just can't wrap my head around what. Okay, like, because here was my thing, right? My big argument with Will Anderson.
He can't tackle.
Was he couldn't finish plays. He can't tackle. And in my brain, I thought being coached by the greatest college coach ever, who specializes on the defensive side of the ball, if you couldn't tackle, if you lacked that discipline, that was a you problem. Right? 1 year in Houston, not even a full year, a couple months in Houston. Suddenly that's not a problem anymore. So one of two things happen.
To me, even if it is, even if it was a problem, I still think we gotta take into account the idea that to get a sack 90% of the time, you don't have to tackle. And a lot of the best edge rushers in football aren't actually that good in the run.
Yeah.
Von Miller was never good in the run. It just didn't matter because they're such different. And I think I'm not saying not being able to tackle isn't a flaw. It's just, I think we read way too far into that and suddenly thought that would make him a bad edge rusher.
I didn't think it would make him bad.
Okay, not bad.
It was more...
But you know what I mean? Where it would like suddenly diminish the thing that he's going to be drafted to do, which is get to the quarterback. And yeah, it didn't. And he definitely did improve as a tackler. I'm not saying he didn't, but
yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other young guys that I want to throw out just to be like, they're really good, not quite there. Bryce Huff is interesting because he is one of the best pure pass rushers in football, but he's a horrible run defender because he's tiny, and he's like a glorified DPR.
Right.
So it's tough. I don't think he's top 10, but he's a name worth bringing up because he's incredible at one specific thing. And obviously working in Philadelphia, he will be asked to do that one specific thing and that one specific thing only.
Yeah. Another thing another player that we need to kind of talk about, but I don't think is going to crack the top 10. At least I wouldn't put him there. Alex Highsmith.
Oh, I wanted to wait because I was kind of... part of me wants to put him in the top 10, but...
He's only had one truly great season.
Right.
Or even one really good season. Like last year wasn't bad by any means, but...
Yeah.
With TJ Watt not playing much last year, it kind of exposed what Highsmith is. And I'm not saying he's bad. He's a really good Robin.
Yeah.
He's not Batman. And to me, you can't be top 10 if you're not Batman.
I'll put it this way. I don't think there are 15 edge rushers better than Highsmith.
Sure.
But I think there's probably 10.
And let me count here. We've removed, I didn't write down Judon, but that's because of the injury thing. So we've removed 1, 2, 3, 4. We removed 6 other guys, which would have him ranked 14th or 15th for me right now.
Okay.
So
who's left on your list?
And that's if we were just ordering them by how we're removing them, and we definitely aren't, because that would be putting Hutchinson at like 22nd, and that's just not accurate at all. The other guy that is definitely getting removed, but has to be brought up is Joey Bosa.
Yeah. Again,
Dude
with
just
him,
can't stay on the field.
health is a problem.
Yep. Another guy that I'm sure we can't actually argue for, but is getting thrown in this list of names is Jonathan Grenard.
I would argue I'd prefer to put the other edge rusher Minnesota just signed over him.
Really?
I think Ginky's a little bit better.
Why?
I think as a pure pass rusher, he brings more to the table. Like, hold on. You look at specifically last year. 53 pressures, 18.1% pass rush win rate, as opposed to Grenard, who had it
Top
doesn't list his
10 in
pressures.
pass rush win rate. I know that.
Yeah, 12.8 pass rush win rate. I'm not saying I think it's like a substantial drop off. I just think Van Ginkel's a little bit better because I think you add in.
I just think
the versatility.
I think they did great adding both of those guys.
Yes.
Instead of the way I look at it is for the same money, you could have Danielle Hunter, who yes is better than both.
Yes.
But it's like your argument with Roquan compared to Tremaine Edmonds and Trent Edwards.
TJ Edwards.
Yep, that's it. Good work. Thank you. Trent Edwards is a quarterback. Right? Am I thinking of the right guy?
I think you're thinking of Trent Dilfer.
No, I'm thinking of, the quarterback who used to be for the Bills.
Oh, no, you're right. I've never heard of this guy before. And he was a Bears practice squad member in 2013.
Yeah.
Fake fan, I guess.
But it's like your argument with them where it's like Roquan's the better player, yes. But for the same money, do you want both or do one? And to me, I'd rather. I get the both argument.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring up Grenard. Van Ginkel's also injured again, so.
Oh, that's
he doesn't even get to be brought up.
I forgot he was coming off injury, yeah.
Yep, that's why his contract's kind of small he's getting like $8 million a year.
Yeah.
But it's because he's coming off an injury and is probably just we're gonna be the most rotational defense of all time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So we've got 4 spots open. I've got 5 names that I would be willing to put in those 4 spots. And it's tough
let me hear your names.
Okay. Danielle Hunter. This is in no order. Danielle Hunter, Khalil Mack, Trey Hendrickson, Montez Sweat, and Brian Burns.
Yeah, so I have one other name.
Okay.
Hassan Reddick.
Ooh, yeah. I just forgot he existed. Yeah.
So that's where
the only thing
I gotta go double check. No, he did play 17 games last year.
The only argument I would make is I think the guys I named are more complete players than Reddick.
Maybe. Maybe.
Burns has increased substantially as a run defender. Montez Sweat is one of the best run defending edges in football. Khalil Mack might be the best run defending edge in football and is coming off a very productive season. Danielle Hunter is a pretty damn solid run defender. Trey Hendrickson's a pretty damn solid run defender. Hassan Reddick is an off-ball linebacker, or a glorified off-ball linebacker that blitzes every play.
Fair.
Which is fine.
But that does mean when you're looking at what most edge rushers do, which is be an outside linebacker, being able to drop in coverage makes you more complete. And he's probably the best in coverage out of all of those we just named.
Well, yeah, but everyone I just named is playing defensive end.
No. They're not all in 4-3s.
Who am I missing?
At least I don't think.
Montez is in a 4-3. Brian Burns isn't in. He's switching. I forgot he was going to New York, so that switches that.
What do the Texans run?
Texans run a 4-3.
Do they?
Pretty sure.
I gotta look it up.
Pretty sure D'Amico. Yeah, because D'Amico coming over from San Fran. He ran a 4-3 in San Fran. Bengals definitely run a 4-3.
Is Hendrickson still in Cincy?
Yes.
I don't know why my brain thinks he's not.
Because there were rumors with his contract that he was going to get moved. And then Chargers run
Are the Chargers switching to a 4-3?
Pretty sure.
Because they definitely weren't.
Oh, no, they're listed as a 3-4.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, they don't drop Mac in coverage.
Because you can't. He's a liability.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to.
No, but what I'm saying is, that's,
Okay.
again,
that argument,
you're
though.
arguing that only one of these strengths matter, and that somehow being able to, as a guy who is an off-ball linebacker, which so is Khalil Mack, so was Daniil Hunter until now,
Yeah.
and now Brian Burns is becoming one. Suddenly, well, half of what your job should be, you can't do, but we're just going to make it okay because we'll just rush you every play, and then it doesn't matter.
I just think run defense is more important than coverage for an edge rusher.
Sure, but it's weird because we can't just list them as outside linebackers.
Right.
So it's weird because they are technically, like, to me, at like looking at it this way, Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons do not do the same thing.
No, they don't.
Like, so it's really hard to argue who's better.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So that's just, I feel like this needs to be brought up because yes, they are all by far better run defenders. But
yeah.
part of half of their jobs is also to cover. And Hassan is better at that.
Yeah.
And that does matter in the context of this argument. So yeah, maybe it's not as big of a sway, but I don't know.
I mean, Reddick
That's
deserves
why
to be
part of me
brought up,
wants to,
obviously.
part of me just wants to like put the caveat on this list of we're talking about edge rushers. So how good you are at getting to the quarterback, and that's it. I don't fuck it. We're not arguing either other side because that's really weird and difficult.
See, I disagree.
So I'm sorry. Are you really gonna take a corner out of a list ever because they can't play run defense?
But that's completely different. They're not playing on the defensive line.
But you know what but technically neither's Hassan Reddick.
Well, yeah, but okay, Hassan Reddick, no, but all the other outside linebackers we've mentioned are.
Not Brian Burns, not Khalil Mack.
Mack, Burns, and
not TJ Watt.
Yes, they are. They are playing. Okay.
No, they're outside linebackers. If your hand's not in the dirt, you're not on the defensive line.
I don't know. Either way, okay. Let me put it this way: if you think, and I'm not saying this to be rude, but if you think run defense for a corner, like if we're comparing run defense for a corner to run defense for someone with the linebacker in the name, that's kind of crazy to me.
You're not getting what my point actually is, and that's fine.
No, I am. You're trying to say that it's not their primary goal, so you're not going to hold them for it. But
I'm not saying not to hold them for it, but I'm saying if you are by far, and I'm not saying he is, but let's say you are by far the best in the world at getting to the quarterback. Oh, well, you're not that great of a run defender. Who gives a flying fuck?
Right, sure.
It's like, okay, so that's what I'm trying to get at with Hassan Reddick is he is one of the best.
Okay, so
just getting to the quarterback.
In theory, if Myles Garrett got pushed off the ball every play in run defense, but got 15 sacks a year, sure.
Right. Well, that's almost Hassan Reddick.
I don't know. I just, you know me.
We are looking at a guy. No, I know. But we're looking at a guy, with 4+ years going over 10 sacks. On 3 different teams. And 4 different defenses because Philly changed.
Yeah, I get that, but the run defense really does matter for me.
But,
I can't just ignore run defense.
I don't know why I'm arguing this hard. I don't even care about Hassan Reddick. It's because we didn't argue anything else, so there needed to be an argument.
I get what you're saying, but this is just one of the. I really do feel like you're just arguing to argue at this point.
Kinda.
But for me, I'm very strong in my conviction that you need to be able to play run defense. Because even if technically speaking, you're not on the defensive line, linebackers in your name. The primary goal of a linebacker has always been tackle, play run defense. I get it. Now we have these weak little scrawny soy boy linebackers like Roquan Smith who are ooh, look at me, I am quick. It's like, okay, man, go attack that running back in the hole. Take on a fullback. And he dies. Fuck you. Not my NFL. Make linebackers great again. Make linebackers
All right,
play run defense
stop.
again.
Bro's airing too far. Gotta pull him back.
But no, like, Reddick's weird. Reddick's really weird. Because I do acknowledge, like, as a pure pass rusher, yes. But I simply can't look at it as a pure pass rusher. Because that run defense is still there, and that still matters a lot to me.
I don't know, man. The name we gave for this position is edge rusher, which means you got to be the best at rushing off the edge.
Yeah.
Got to be the best at edging and rushing.
Okay.
Wait, no, that's not it.
Geek.
Sorry.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you know what it's called when a defensive end or outside linebacker holds their position against the run?
Yeah, they're setting contain, technically.
They're setting the edge.
Nope. They're just containing. Just contain.
It is setting the edge.
I can't even make the argument I was kind of thinking about. That's unfortunate. All right. I'm over it. No, I was going to make an argument about Trey Hendrickson being mid outside of outside of 1 year, basically. That 1 year was also kind of last year, so tough.
I mean, if we want to, but even then, we still had 5 other dudes.
Yeah, no, I do want to argue that Trey Hendrickson's going to be the first outside of the top 10.
I'm okay with that.
I don't think he actually goes in there.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, you look at it statistically, 13.5 sacks, 14 sacks, 8 sacks where he missed 2 games, 17.5 sacks.
Yeah, but go back a year and then a year again. He got double digits missing games.
Yeah, no, like I said, I agree that he would be the first guy out. My point was more just to be like,
last year was just insane.
Right, my point was more just to be like, hey, Trey Hendrickson's been really fucking good for a while now. Last year was the big year, but I do agree that he's probably not quite top 10. So
now is Miller gonna hate me?
Why are you gonna say Sweat should be 10?
Sweat's 10.
Yeah,
yes.
I agree with that.
Oh, I thought you were gonna hate me. Dubs.
No, because Sweat, the big thing for me, I think, okay, the run defense, first of all, I'm not gonna say he's the best run defender at the edge position because he's not, but he is top 3. You know, he is one of the best run defending edges in football. On top of that, the way he transformed Chicago's defense last year is unreal. Like, you can look at a stat sheet all day. You know, you can sit here and be like, oh, his pass rush win rate wasn't that great. Watch the fucking tape.
I think all of the guys we're going to put above him would have done the same thing, if not more.
Right.
And but yes.
But I'm saying the reason I'm bringing it up is because there's a couple guys that we're going to put below him that statistically outweigh him.
Sure.
And I just don't think you put Hassan Reddick in this role, for example. You say, hey, Hassan, you're the number 1 edge in Chicago, hand in the dirt playing defensive end. Or if Chicago is running a 3-4 even, you're the number 1 edge as an outside linebacker. I don't think he makes the same impact.
Maybe not. His stat sheet might be fuller.
No, his stat sheet's going to be big, yeah. But the run defense matters a lot because Chicago's run defense with and without Sweat was night and day.
That's fair.
Because Sweat coming onto the field, the only player that didn't aggressively benefit from Montez Sweat being on the field last year was Jalen Johnson, and that's because he was already the second coming. Like, he was already where he needed to be. His job, I guess, got a little bit easier. I guess I can't say it didn't. But the linebacker core went from people thinking Tremaine Edmonds was dog shit to Edmonds having a really good back half of the year. The defensive line went from the biggest joke in football to really fucking respectable, and the Bears had one of the better run defenses in football. You saw Tyreek Stevenson break out because there was a little bit of pressure getting to the quarterback. You saw Javon Dexter breaking out because there was some pressure getting to the quarterback and some attention being taken off him. You saw DeMarcus Walker being more productive. You saw Andrew Billings getting more to the quarterback, which is crazy. Montez Sweat turned a fucking 300-pound nose tackle into a legitimate pass rusher because he was taking attention off of the other guys on the defensive line. And this is from somebody that their entire career we were told was a Robin. Montez Sweat is a legit alpha as an edge rusher. Montez Sweat is Nightwing. Am I wrong?
I wanted to make a Red Hood reference somewhere, but I don't know where. Actually, I do, but we're not there yet.
Okay. But yeah, no, Montez Sweat at 10, I can absolutely get behind. I wouldn't have argued him any higher, personally.
I think there's one guy I might have argued, like, there could be an argument for, and that's why I want to put him at 9.
Which is?
Brian Burns.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, I could see the argument for Burns.
Because the big thing is with Burns, he's someone that I've been infatuated with for a while now. I've been watching Burns a lot in Carolina.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's incredible. But what's really impressed me is the steady improvement against the run. Because Burns started out as this skinny, like, pure finesse rusher, so to speak. And over time, I don't know if he's gained weight. I don't know what his fucking career weight trajectory looks like. But he's just bulked up, gotten stronger, and just played more physical. He's starting to tap into his bull rush more. He's starting to actually use power when attacking the quarterback and when playing the run. Like, he has evolved his game so much. And I'm so excited to see what he's going to do in New York alongside Kayvon Thibodeau, because holy Toledo.
That's what I was going to bring up is he's been the only real defender in Carolina his entire career. So yeah, you're going to do the thing. There.
Derek Brown.
Sure. Not changing exactly what I'm saying almost at all, though.
But I'm just saying,
He's going to be the primary focus this entire time. And he still was, even with Derek Brown. Mm-hmm. He's still the primary focus.
Yeah.
So my point was being, yes, the numbers aren't there because no, he's not Myles Garrett. He's not Bosa. He's not TJ Watt, where it doesn't matter if he's playing next to me and you or playing next to, another one of those guys. Yeah, his numbers might not be as insanely high as all of those guys. But just watching him play is all you really got to do to know where Brian Burns goes. Really wondering if we're going to have another argument at all.
Well, we might have one here. Who would you put at 8?
Khalil Mack.
Okay, see, I'd argue Danielle would go here.
I wouldn't.
Because, okay, let's think about this for a second.
Let's do.
So,
Khalil Mack, outside of last year, was on the downturn of his career, and you could tell. Not saying he was bad, but he was no longer Khalil Mack. And yes, last year he went nuts. Mm-hmm. Kind of. His number is very inflated because he had one incredible game against the worst offensive line in football.
Still had double-digit sacks outside of that.
Right.
On top of being the best run-defending edge in football.
He is the best run-defending edge in football. He's also 33 and has been on the downturn of his career. Has been. So that's not going to change. He didn't get better last year. His numbers just looked better. And I'm not saying he's bad. I mean, obviously, we're arguing for him in the top 10.
Right.
But so, this is not shots at Khalil Mack at all. But numbers, pure numbers wise, yeah, he has half a sack more, but everywhere else, Danielle was better. And again, this is one guy next to Joey Bosa and one guy next to DJ Wanham. These are not the same.
Yeah, but how many games? Okay, this will be my deciding factor here.
How many games Joey Bosa played?
I'm checking. 9. Started 5.
Yeah. Well, we didn't care about the start numbers earlier, technically.
Okay.
We haven't always cared about the starts. He played in 9 because starts are goofy.
Right.
Always are.
All right. Because I'll give it to Hunter
some running backs don't get 16. Nice. We'll go Mac 8. Let's go. That just means Hunter's 7. That's the entire argument, which is okay. And like we said, Khalil Mack is the best run defending edge in football. I don't really think it's close.
All right. So then
I was waiting for an argument there, but no. So let's talk about Danielle Hunter for just a minute.
go by
I
all
was trying
means.
to gloss over my boy. What the hell? Not my boy anymore. He's the Texans boy now. It is weird that like
Switching up is crazy.
whoa,
What?
3 of the 4 players left. No, 3 of the 5 players left from that NFC Championship team are on the Texans.
That's crazy.
That's wild. That's wild. Sorry. That's such a weird tangent. Yeah, no, Danielle Hunter has always been incredible. He, prior to the neck injury that made him miss all of 2020 and over half of 2021, he was the youngest player to every sack milestone ever. Yeah. Danielle Hunter has always been one of the best edge rushers in football. And through the early part of his career, his first double-digit sack year, he was technically the Robin to Everson Griffin's Batman. But this was the guy I was bringing up as Red Hood. The neck injury was the murdered by the Joker. And the 2022-2023 is the coming back as Red Hood.
Right.
He was Robin, and now he's Red Hood. I found the place to put the Red Hood reference.
So what I'm hearing is Montez Sweat should actually be ranked above Danielle Hunter.
No.
Nightwing's better.
Nightwing couldn't come back to life. He's a little bitch about it.
Actually, in DC's Titans, Nightwing does die and come back to life.
Yeah, because they just stole Jason Todd's story.
Well, no,
that fucking
Jason
show
Todd
doesn't deserve to be on TV.
Jason Todd is also in the show and dies and comes back to life.
Whoever made Titans doesn't deserve to work on TV shows and movies.
No, it is horrific. I hate every
Have you seen
of
the
that show.
Suits? I hate all of it. It's all bad and it pisses me off.
Yeah, it's which sucks because Brendan Thwaites, like on a side tangent, Brendan Thwaites was such a great casting for Dick Grayson, and they just threw it away. Like I really liked the cast for that show.
Yeah,
but the writing they were giving was horrific. But anyways,
so it's the CW half the time. I can't include most of Arrow because they just cast Batman. They just made Batman and called it Green Arrow, and that which it honestly that show made me think Stephen Amell could play Batman.
Yeah,
but that's not the point. But I mean all the other CW shows. Grant Gustin, great Flash. Kind of terrible show, but great Flash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Danielle. This is Josh
Hines Allen.
Hines Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, as much as I want to say I want to put him higher just for the sake of my own arguments, because I called it last year. I said Josh Allen, one of my big hot takes was Josh Allen was going to come out and prove himself as a top 5 edge, and I was only ever so slightly off.
I mean, he basically did. The other guys are just, well, it's also weird because what is Micah Parsons?
Football.
Right.
Right.
It's like he doesn't do just a thing.
Yeah.
So he's tough. So, I mean, if you go by that, technically he did. But
yeah, you look at Allen, he's always been really good. Or at least since he's gotten into the league, he's gotten steadily better. Always been a really solid run defender. And then last year, he really exploded with a 16.5 sack season. Super productive. One of the best players in football, period. And I'm so glad I was right about him and then another player we'll talk about when we talk about the interior defensive linemen. Because I was so confident in the two of them, and I was so right about the two of them. And granted, it was the stereotypical young defender that's been getting steadily better, exploding during a contract year isn't the craziest thing in the world. But I put a lot of faith into them, and I'm glad I was repaid. But yeah,
I mean,
Josh Hines.
I've always been on your side with that.
Yeah.
I've called him better Josh Allen for years now, so I feel like that should show where I sat. Yeah. I didn't know he had 17.5 sacks last year. Did he end up being the league leader?
I don't believe so. Actually, now he might have. I don't know.
because that's more than Mack and Hunter.
Yeah.
Who was number one? Oh, TJ Watt ended up still getting it at 19. Then Hendrickson and Hines Allen at 2 and 3, but tied at 2. Mack at 17, Danielle Hunter at 16 and a half.
Yeah.
What name doesn't belong in this top bit? Wow, Sweat and Grenard. Danico Autry had 11 and a half and was 12th in the league.
Incredible.
Tied with Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau. Ooh, Leonard Floyd. There's another guy. He had 10 and a half, was in the top 20 in sacks. How we feeling?
I'm glad he's learned how to play football. Because he didn't know how to do it in Chicago.
True. But yeah, Josh Hines Allen is great.
All he knew how to do in Chicago was sack Aaron Rodgers, which, like, God love him for it. But
you know what? That's fair. All right, Miller. Is this where the arguments start?
Maybe. So who do you have at 5?
Who do you got at 5? You tell me. I think you know who I have here. Who are you saying?
Hold on.
How much agenda pushing is there going to be today?
Hold on.
He's going to say some out-of-pocket shit like that fucking TJ Watt goes at 5.
As much as I hate the Steelers now. Fact checking something here. Because I think it's between 2 people.
I definitely think we agree on one of the people, but I'm trying to think of which guy you're trying to say isn't better than him.
Well, I think it's between 2 people for this spot. I'm saying it's the guy that I want to argue for and then one other person. So I'm saying the guy I want to argue for, I want to put at 4.
Yeah, I know. You want to put Crosby at 4, but who are you trying to put down at 5?
I think I'm going to make the argument that he's better than Maga Man.
Ooh. I might let you just because I don't like Nick Bosa. I might just let this happen. I don't actually think Crosby's better, though.
Okay, so here's the thing.
And that's what we're looking at.
Right.
Better.
Crosby's sack numbers have always been lower than they should actually be.
Sure.
Because if you look at the amount of pressure that this man generates, it's historic.
Yeah.
Genuinely, in terms of generating pressure, which I argue is more important than actual sacks, because when you're registering a sack, that doesn't account for, like, oh, I drove a tackle into the quarterback's lap and he got the ball at the last second and threw it away. Or, you know, the quarterback ran the opposite direction and my teammate bear hugged him. Right? You don't get that. You don't get credit for those types of plays. Or you force an errant throw, ends up as an interception. That, to me, is more important than just bringing down the quarterback. Because coverage sacks exist. Sacks require a lot more context. Whereas pressures, it's just plain and simple. You made the quarterback uncomfortable. More likely than not, he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. Point blank, period. That was
So are we counting hurries as pressure? Is that what Pro Football Reference does? Because they don't have a pressure.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they do. Never mind.
Oh, they do?
I'm dumb. Yeah.
Where? Under advanced defense?
Then, hey, technically, based off of our talk here, yeah, advanced defense. I'm looking at the top 10. Apparently, we've made a problem because Aiden Hutchinson's apparently the best at that.
Yeah, but Aiden Hutchinson has one move. Don't care.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. No, apparently my argument for Daniil was right, and maybe we should have bumped up Montez.
Well,
that's what. But I still I don't hate what we've done. I'm just.
And I also think
using pressures as like a bigger part, then yeah.
But I also think Crosby's a much better run defender.
Yes.
If Mack's the best run defending edge in football, Crosby's number 2. It's those two and then Myles Garrett.
Oh, the way you said Max, I thought you were trying to say Crosby was the best. I was like, no.
Max
former
the
Raider,
best.
but
Max
yeah,
Crosby, Myles Garrett.
Max. Yeah, it's just Max the best, and then Max. It's like, wait, no,
Max.
wait,
I get
it
you.
fucked my head up.
I get you.
Yeah,
No. But yeah, I'm gonna say Crosby.
At least you're
over
not
Bosa.
arguing him over TJ Watt. TJ's better.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'll let you do it because I don't like either of the Bosas, so I'm down to move them as far down as possible.
I also just want to say, since we have weighted last year pretty decently heavily,
I don't
Nick
even
Bosa
care
had
about
a
last
down
year.
year.
True.
Crosby.
I also think
career year.
You know what did change a little bit for Nick Bosa? Not a ton, but this always has and always will matter in my mind.
What?
Who's got the easier job? The guy next to Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, fucking. Who's their other edge rushers?
Last year it was Clowney for half the year. First half of the year it was like Leonard Floyd, Charles Omenihu, like very respectable rotational defensive linemen.
And a great defensive coordinator. Who else is on Crosby's defensive line?
Last year, not a lot.
Jerry Tillery?
Right. Jerry Tillery.
Not even kidding. Jerry Tillery. I don't know who else was, but I know Tillery was. And I know it wasn't that good. I know
Wilson.
John Jenkins at 30 years old had, kind of a breakout season. But John Jenkins ain't moving the needle for a defense.
He was supposed to have Chandler Jones, lost him.
Yeah.
Bilal Nichols, Malcolm Kuntz.
Yeah, you're helping with my point, so I do appreciate.
Yeah. Isaac Rochelle.
I know that's kind of your goal.
Byron Young, Nesta Jade Silvera.
That always has been and always will be a major argument for me when trying to rank players is who has the easier job.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Bosa, his entire career, has always had the easier job.
Yeah.
And probably always will. Oh, I forgot Chase Young was the second half of the year.
Yeah, I did say that.
Did you?
Yes.
I remember Clowney being said.
Did I say Clowney? I meant Chase Young.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
I think you might have just mixed those two.
Either way, we're going Bosa 5, Crosby 4.
Yeah, Crosby. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Let's go. This is where it gets dicey.
I don't know if it. I think 2 and 1 might get dicier than this. I am going to offend some people, I think.
Why do you have TJ Watt here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he somehow didn't miss a game last year. He got hurt again, though. Dude is always hurt. He didn't miss a game, though. Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So I remember the one injury. They were like, he could be done for the season. And then he played the next week. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I mean, the way I see it, so the big argument is always TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. The only thing that TJ Watt does better than Myles Garrett is cover.
Yep.
And I've already established how I feel about that.
And if we are making the argument where that matters, TJ is not the one of the top 3 you'd ever argue for anyways.
Right. He's just okay at it. He can hold his own. He can play a flat.
Yeah.
You're not asking TJ to do anything complicated. You're just like, hey, you're quick, go stand over there. If something happens, tackle him.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty firmly about who number 1 is.
I'm very curious. Do I want to argue it just for fun if you say not what I think? Maybe. I might just argue it either way. Say something.
I feel really confident saying it's Myles Garrett.
Oh, I don't disagree. I also have Garrett at 1 on my list. But I feel like there is an argument to be made for the unicorn that is Micah Parsons.
Sure.
Like, he is... Okay, I want to go back to the pressure rate numbers I was looking at a second ago.
Are you looking at pressure rate or total pressure?
Not pressure rate, just total pressures. And just maybe pressure rate's a good one to look at, too.
I don't know. Do they have it on Pro Football Reference?
Not Pro Football Reference, no. But I can look at pressures, and pressure-wise, Micah Parsons is at 6. Myles Garrett is at 10. Myles Garrett, weirdly, comes in below Danielle Hunter and Montez Sweat.
How about that?
So maybe we have some agendas. No, I'm kidding. I think watch Myles Garrett, and you know.
Yeah. Myles Garrett, so the thing about him is that he exists. Like, I know that's, but the way he rushes the pastor, first of all, the way he rushes the pastor, the way he charges in and attacks the Catholic Church, the physicality.
No, the way he straight up just, this is still my favorite play from last year, where he just told the guard what he was going to do.
And then he did it.
Hit you here, dive in here, and I'm right around you. And then he just does it.
Because that's what I was getting at. The thing that blows my mind with him is you look at him and you're like, okay, this is a pure blood power rusher. He's going to run through your face and you're not going to stop him. And then he does shit like that. Where you're an offensive tackle and you're like, all right, brace for impact. And then he hits you with a fucking crossover hezzy step before you can even think what your name is on the snap.
Yeah.
And he's eating your quarterback alive.
For sure.
And on top of that, to be an excellent run defender, because of his physicality and his ability to stack and shed blocks and his discipline, his ability to hold his gap, his ability to redirect runs from his position, he is in my eyes, if I were to build a defensive end in a laboratory, Myles Garrett would be what would pop out.
See, for me, I don't disagree. But I'm so used to the 3-4 at this point existing. That for me, what I would build is Micah Parsons. Great as a run defender, incredible as a pass rusher, and can drop into coverage with the best of most linebackers.
Yeah.
Like, Micah Parsons is truly a unicorn.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I totally agree. Like, this to me, out of everyone we've talked about at every position, is in my brain the most 1A, 1B, and I can't be mad whichever way you want to go, of any position in all of football.
Is it crazy to say 1A, 1B, 1C?
I think you could do that with TJ. I really do.
That's kind of how I feel.
That's really fair. Because, like, I don't hate, if you want to say TJ Watt's the best in the world, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I really don't. If you want to say that, yikes, Myles Garrett is, you could. If you want to say that Micah is, you could. And I don't really think there's a flaw in any of that. So yeah. But yeah, in my mind, when I picture like the perfect edge rusher, it's Micah. And that's just because of the defenses that I am so used to now. Because even though the Vikings haven't been a 3-4 that long, that's just been a lot of what the NFL has become in the last 10 years. And so that's just where my mind goes. But it does, I mean, I also think, I don't know, you might be able to drop Myles Garrett back in coverage. You genuinely might. I think he could probably be at least on par with a Danielle Hunter, who's like,
Listen,
you don't love it, but you don't hate it.
You put Myles Garrett in coverage, you tell him to guard the flat, the running back's not going to want to catch the football.
Right.
He just has to stand there and they'll say, sorry, Mike, or sorry, Myles. I almost said Micah. Wrong player. Micah Parsons will simply jump a route. They're just like, sorry, my bad, Myles. My bad.
Micah's just saying, oh, mine.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think there's an argument to be made for those top three for sure. And then I think Crosby, Bosa, and Allen are pretty safely the next three.
But no, on my list, I had Garrett 1 also. So I don't disagree. I just felt like there needed to be some more conversation.
Sure.
Because we agreed way too much the entire way through.
Well, me and you, I think, evaluate edge rushers pretty similarly.
We learned that with Tyree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for reference, just to recap, top 10, in order, 1 to 10, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, Max Crosby, Nick Bosa, Joshua Hines-Allen, Danielle Hunter, Khalil Mack, Brian Burns, and Montez Sweat.
Let's go.
The Montez of the Midway, one of my favorite nicknames.
Montez of the Midway. That goes pretty hard.
Does.
All right.
So
So
defensive
I
tackles.
have too many names here. But that's
Yeah.
because you have to weirdly combine nose tackles and then like defensive ends
we
for a lot of
have to?
defenses. I don't know if we can put 3 different lists together because
We could do.
when we look at it that way, I'm trying to think of a better play. We would have to go switch how we talked about it then, because Myles Garrett doesn't go on the other list. He's just a defensive end the same way Leonard Williams is. Leonard Williams is not a nose tackle. He does not do that.
So
okay, I'm looking at this
here's
as
the difference. Here's the difference, right? You would have nose tackles, you would have edge rushers, and then you'd have 3 tech / 4 eyes. 4 eye is a 3/4 defensive end.
I don't have my list broken down well enough to do that.
Okay, well then we can just go defensive tackles.
I'm just calling it defensive linemen, and that's why I have 26 names. 26 names, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
and I don't really have a perfect order, so I just kind of want to start throwing names. And
hold on, I just want to ask: do we have our like above all else?
I think I've got 5. I don't know about you.
I think here.
I think we definitely have the same first 3 out of our mouths.
Who are they?
Chris Jones, Dexter Lawrence, Quinnen Williams.
Okay.
And then I've got Derek Brown and DeForest Buckner.
I've got Derek Brown and Justin Madubuike.
I don't disagree that Madubuike is great. 1 year. I know it wasn't his first year, but like he was not even close to a top 10 defensive lineman after the 2022 season. So one incredible
year.
year.
DeForest Buckner in your healthy frame.
Yeah.
I was hoping he missed like 3 games in the past 2 years.
But
so
I definitely agree that. So it's going to be tough because there's a lot of good names here.
All right. So.
But you want me to throw a name that we're going to get rid of really fast? Well, 2 names we're going to get rid of really fast to just get them named. Jalen Carter and Christian Barmore. 2 different reasons. Jalen Carter, incredible, but rookie.
Yes.
So doesn't make the list, but he has to be mentioned.
Yes.
Wrecking ball.
Truly.
And Christian Barmore, incredible. But with his health now, we can't be sure he'll play again.
I was going to say, because he'd be a top 10 lock for me.
Fair. Yeah.
Love Christian Barmore. One of the more underrated defensive players, period.
I tend to agree. I'm trying to think of who else. I really wish I would write first names sometimes.
How do we feel about Kenny Clark? Just to get the Green Bay cat out of the bag.
I like Kenny Clark. I really do. I don't know if I'd put him in the top 10.
The top 15?
Maybe. I tend to, and maybe I'm completely out of pocket for this, and you can tell me if you think I am. I want to double check. But I kind of put him with, not so much him, but like in the same realm. And these are the guys I have towards the lower end of the way I wrote this down anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I put him similar to right now, a like Dalvin Tomlinson, an Ed Oliver, a Grady Jarrett, a Harrison Phillips. I don't like, obviously not bad players, but not the true, like truly game wrecking type guys that a lot of the rest of the list can be.
I think I would disagree a little bit with Clark. I think he would be the next step up. I think he is
maybe
the lowest tier of like true game wreckers. Like he's not doing it as consistently anymore, but it's still going to happen. And when it happens, you're going to be in the shit.
So maybe, okay, I want to go, trying to think of whose name I've like got here that I like don't remember who they are.
I'll put it this way.
Oh, it's another one that we're just throwing out,
Uh-huh.
but they deserve to be talked about, and it was Kobe.
Oh, yeah, the
Turner.
best rookie defensive tackle last year.
Yeah, I have Turner written down, and I'm like, who the fuck is Turner?
Yeah, Kobe Turner, my goat.
Because I just have Turner, and I'm like, who the fuck are you?
The guy who should have won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year, the best rookie defensive tackle, Aaron Donald's
another guy
protege.
I'm moving down a little, just from where I have it. Him written is so like Alim McNeil was another guy in that, and Grover Stewart I think to me was as well.
Both incredible. See, if we were doing top 10 nose tackles, Alim McNeil, Grover Stewart, and Kenny Clark would all be objectively top 10.
Undoubtedly, yes, 100% agree. But since we're doing D line as a whole, which I know may not be the best way to do it, I don't know if there is a best way to do
We're
any
on a
of
time
this.
crunch as well.
Yeah, that too. So I don't know if there's a best way to do any of it for defensive line edge rushers. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. So we're working with what we got, and you can hate our ideology as much as you want. But yes, I agree they would all be top 10 nose tackles for sure.
Yes.
I think even Dalvin Tomlinson would be.
Yes. I think he
As
would
a
be
pure
the
nose,
tail end of the
absolutely.
top 10, but he would be top 10.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea is tough.
Yes.
I think he's definitely one of the names we keep for when we're arguing the 10 spot.
Okay.
I think.
I agree.
He's just such a wrecking ball. He's not a pass rusher, but he can, but he's not
39
like purely
pressures last year.
Right. Well,
which
yeah, because he's just a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
That's half of that's not even things that could end up being sacks. He's just in your face because he pushes the entire O-line. He's insane.
Name I want to bring up that I don't know if you're going to be as hip to.
Interesting.
But I want to argue would be in that same conversation.
Who's that?
Zach Seiler.
I do not have him written, but I just might not be familiar with his game.
60 quarterback pressures last year.
God damn.
Yeah. One of the more underrated run defenders in football, period. He's had 3 straight seasons of 30 defensive stops, which is essentially just like stuffing a run at the line of scrimmage. And if I'm not mistaken, he's a PFF darling. I think PFF loves him. And he has played at least 900 snaps back-to-back years. So doesn't miss time. Incredible against the run and the pass. I would say he's in that same conversation.
Yeah, I want to write down these names just so we can have the deeper conversation in a moment. Other names to bring up. Eric Armstead.
Do we think he's top 10?
No, but I think we got to bring up guys. Because I think then Leonard Williams is tough for me.
Yeah.
Good old Leo. Because I don't know. I don't know
solid
what to
run
do with him.
defender. 52 pressures last year.
Yeah.
Transitioned seamlessly between systems.
He actually got better after the transition, which isn't always the case.
Yes.
Especially when going to what is technically a much worse defensive line situation. Being able to then put up better numbers when you are suddenly the number one. Like, I get it. Number one, you're the best on the team. You should get the best stats. That's not always how that goes.
Yeah.
You know? Because normally that means you're drawing the attention, which means another guy gets a lot of the shine.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got better when he left Kayvon Thibodeau, who was the guy who got all the shine in New York. Well, him and obviously the guy we will talk about later.
Yes.
Obviously. But yeah, he's transitioned multiple times between teams. Has always been one of the better pressure and sack leaders from up the middle. So I don't know what to do with him. Do we save him for that top 10 conversation?
Yes, I would say so.
Or is he okay.
John Allen.
While bringing him up, you got to bring up Daron Payne too.
I mean, yeah, Payne needs to be brought up, but I think Allen's better,
Oh, Allen's better, but
like
I
pretty
think
comfortably.
you just got to bring up both. I don't know if it's as comfortable as Madden seems to always think. Deron Payne's an 80 and Allen's a 93. It's like, well, I don't think it's that big of a gap.
But
It's good gap, but it's not that big.
yeah, no,
but
John Allen, I mean, he can do it all. 49 pressures last year, 37 defensive stops, had double-digit sacks 2 years ago.
a guy who would definitely be in this conversation who just isn't gonna be
Uh-huh.
right now, I think, is DJ Reader.
Is he coming off an injury?
He is, and I can't remember how big of one. He only played 10 games in 22, 14 last year, only 5 in 2020.
It was a
He hasn't
lower
played a complete season since 2018.
torn left quad.
Yeah, so yeah, that's
Holy Toledo, my allergies are beating my ass out of nowhere. I am fighting
a
a
big-
war right here.
let's go. That's a big injury for a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's
Speaking
one of those.
Oh, sorry.
He probably deserves to be here, but the way we've done injuries, the only guy we've made an exception for was the guy who came back from an injury at the end of the season and still looked just as good, and that was Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
We haven't seen Reader come back yet.
So, 2 old heads I want to bring up here. I want to see how you feel. Cam Hayward, Javon Hargrave.
In the way I have them written down, are in the top 10 of what I have written down. If that tells you enough.
Okay.
So outside of the 5 we listed, I then had Hayward, Jeffrey Simmons, Hargrave,
I have Jeff Simmons
Christian
as well.
Wilkins, Matabuke.
Yeah.
Matabuke. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, just remember it's Buike because his nickname is Beaks.
Yeah, that's fair. So I think now we have to figure out where those guys go and who gets cut between Hayward, Simmons, Hargrave, Wilkins, Vea, Seiler, Leonard Williams, and Jonathan Allen.
So this conversation for me for 10 specifically is between Hargrave, Vea, Seiler, Williams, and Hayward. I think only one of those guys makes my top 10.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out who's going in. Okay, who do you have in your top 10 right now?
So 10's open,
just like,
but my top 9 in no order: Jones, Lawrence, Quinnen Williams, Derek Brown, Beaks, Jeff Simmons, DeForest Buckner, John Allen, and Christian Wilkins. That's my 9.
you got Allen.
Yes, I think John Allen's top. I think he is top 9. I would say he's probably at 9, maybe 8, but
interesting. So we're arguing 10 between Leo, Seiler, Vea, Hargrave, Wilkins, Hayward. Interesting.
Yes.
I'm trying to think who my first outs are. Honestly, and I hate to do it. In my brain, and I'm gonna go look at a couple things before I speak.
I know who my first out is pretty easily.
Who is it?
Javon Hargrave.
I agree.
Worst run defender.
My
in the
next
bunch
one was
by
Hayward.
far. Yes, Cam Hayward is 35 and missed time last year.
And slowing down.
Yes.
So, yeah, and that's not a shot at either guy. I mean, obviously, we're arguing their.
Oh no, it's a shot
or...
at Hargrave. Learn how to defend the run, buddy.
Whoa, aggressive. I mean, I guess without Fletcher Cox to cover up.
You are
here.
a defensive tackle. That is your job.
So okay.
Which leaves Vea, Seiler, Williams for 10.
Wilkins, you forgot Christian Wilkins.
Oh, I had Christian Wilkins top 9. Did I count wrong? 1, 2,
yeah, you
3,
definitely
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I did. Okay, I did count wrong. So yeah, that leaves Wilkins as well.
I might be missing another name you said already, but that's okay.
Let me look at something real quick with Wilkins.
Hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, maybe 9. Wait. Who am I leaving out that you said? Go over your top 9 again.
Chris Jones, Dexter
Yeah.
Lawrence, Quentin
Yeah.
Williams,
Yeah.
Eric Brown,
Yeah.
Beeks,
Yeah.
Jeff Simmons,
Yeah.
Buckner,
Yeah.
and John Allen.
That's 8. So I guess you would have had Wilkins.
Yes.
You just never said him.
Ah, that's my bad.
Okay. That makes me less confused. So
See,
Vea, Siler, and Leo.
My vote's for Siler. I think he's the most complete
Ooh.
player here.
I think my vote's still for Vita Vea.
I mean, if we want to go like long-term historical president with Vea, I don't hate that. Plus, I'm all for nose tackle rep.
Right.
What if
we do the 10A, 10B again? We could do that.
Just so I
Why
can
not?
appease myself and say that Zach Seiler's in our top.
Yeah, because then I get to pretend and say Leo's at 11 and was just the first guy out. So I'm down. I love Leonard Williams. If you couldn't tell by the Madden League when you ran it and me making him a Viking every single time.
Yeah. My 9 is Christian Wilkins, by the way.
I thought you said it was Jonathan Allen.
I thought about it for a second, and
changed
I
his mind.
remembered. I forgot Christian Wilkins, not great run defense.
Okay, so we're going. I'm saying 10B is Siler just for fun,
Yeah.
just as a hater moment. Not really a
Cringe.
hater, but you know what I mean. So Siler, 10A is Vea. So 9 you think is Wilkins? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's just the run defense for Wilkins. Like, he's fine, and he's going to be an awesome pass rusher. Like him
See,
next to
it's
Crosby. Ooh. But
so it's tough because is Jonathan Allen considered the nose tackle for Washington?
No, Payne is.
Kinda. Really? Okay,
Yes.
never mind then.
I'm pretty sure. I'd consider Payne more of a nose. He's bigger and a better run defender. Better
Is he bigger?
two-gapping. Pretty sure. Am I high?
I don't know. My head just doesn't think so.
Well, your head
Is wrong.
Usually.
That's okay. That's just not true.
6'3", 300 versus how big's Payne?
6'3", 320.
Yeah, so. They're both big fellas, but Payne's...
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so then John Allen at 8 here.
Yeah, sure.
I'd say Jeff Simmons at 7.
Yeah. I think I could get down with that. Can I?
As much
Who
as
are
I
you
hate...
putting at 6? Are you putting Beeks at 6? Or are you trying to put him even higher after 1 year?
I would say 6 would work for Beeks.
Because that's where my argument was going to be, is just...
Yeah,
Beeks
well, Jeffrey
and
Simmons made fun of
Wilkins.
Caleb painting his nails.
I don't know. Has anyone ever heard Beeks talk?
No.
Well, then I could make up heinous things.
Racist.
I wouldn't, but man, I don't know here.
I would say Defo 5.
Yes. Ooh, okay, let's see if we round out our top 5s the same. Who you got a 4?
A 4, Derek Brown.
I agree. Who you got a 3?
Quinnen, as much as I want to put him higher.
I agree. So your 2's Lawrence and your 1's Jones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we agree everywhere except here, so let's argue. Just for giggles.
Where at? With
Beeks and Simmons, just for fun. I don't really care at all. I just for fun.
So
1 guy, 1 year, young guy, better defense.
stats say for Metabuike that last year was his first like big pass rushing year. But if you actually go back and look, and if you go back and watch him, he has been a pretty damn good pass rusher for Baltimore consistently throughout his career. Like
And
2022.
Simmons is a 2-time All-Pro.
Can I finish?
No.
Racism in America, folks.
No, that's not it.
Ooh,
But
those
you
are
win
ugly
'cause-
numbers.
What are ugly numbers?
Jeff Simmons' pressure numbers against Beeks. Never
Yeah,
mind, I
again.
can't read. They are.
And
pretty
even
much
if you
the
were
same.
right, there's a big caveat here.
Huh.
Ravens, many good players. Titans, no good players.
And I still think Beaks is better. I think he's a much better pass rusher, and I think as a run defender, they're pretty equal.
I mean, apparently the numbers say you're wrong about him being a much better pass rusher, since pressure rate is equal.
Oh, watch the tape.
Yeah, watch tape. Jeffrey Simmons is him.
Jeffrey
Beaks
Simmons
is just on a great defense. What
Yeah.
happens now that he was good? He had the breakout with McDonald. Now McDonald gone. What happened now?
He stays really good. He was the second best player on the best defense in football last year.
What about 1 year Bozo?
You bite your tongue.
We make this argument that who knows, maybe CJ Stroud will suck, maybe Jordan Love will suck, but we're gonna pretend
Because Beaks had a build up to it.
that can't work for other positions.
Beaks had
Yeah,
a build
that's
up to it
fair.
in the league. Like it's much different because if you go back and watch Beaks, it's not like when I was saying like Beaks is gonna have a big year. It's not like I looked at Baltimore and I was like, haha, funny name, he's gonna be good. It was you watch him and it's like, oh, okay, this kid's putting on really good pass rushing tape. If he can put it together next year in a year that really fucking matters, he's gonna be something special. He was something special. He had more sacks than any other interior defensive lineman last year. And that includes Chris Jones and Aaron Donald.
Well, Aaron Donald doesn't surprise me because outside of his 3 DPOY years, he's never been a sack getter, not like that.
More than Chris Jones, which is saying a lot.
No,
yeah.
I just, this is my hot take of, all right, you know what? I'm just going to agree with you. Maybe we can have this as a real argument.
Okay.
Okay. Now I just want to know, who do you think is the greatest defensive player of all time?
Greatest of all time?
Because
Bias
normally
or no
there
bias?
are 2 names that get brought up for no reason.
Bias or no bias?
You're going to, no bias, please.
I can't say Dick Butkus.
No.
The
2 names that always seem to get brought up are Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor
and Aaron
would
Donald.
be my go-to.
So I always end up saying Taylor's a piece of shit, so fuck him. And go between Donald and Watt. So I just go between Donald and Watt. And my hot take is JJ Watt is better, and it's not actually that close.
Not actually that close, I think, is pushing it. But
JJ Watt is the most dominant defensive player to ever step foot on this earth. And I stand by that. Because there was never a year where, unless he was injured, where JJ finished with under 10 sacks while being on a by far worse defense his whole career. Unless you count his rookie year, and nobody counts rookie years. I will stand behind not counting rookie years. I am wrong. 2020 did exist. I forgot about 2020.
Yeah.
God damn it, old man JJ fucking me over.
Oh, no.
But, you know.
Lawrence Taylor's
It also helps. But I just default to JJ. And maybe that's just because I watched him and never watched LT.
Which is fair.
Like that. But no, when it comes to Aaron Donald and JJ, I always argue JJ. Because JJ was undoubtedly the best pass rusher in football. And I don't even mean like as an interior D lineman. I just mean the best pass rusher in football. Yeah. Whether you put him outside or inside, it didn't matter. Very similar to Myles Garrett now.
Yeah.
Where, and he was like also the most athletic person on the field. You could drop him in coverage. You could play him at tight end. How many touchdowns Aaron Donald got or rushed for? How many times Aaron Donald line up?
If we're talking about offensive versatility, hold on.
Say the fridge because he lined up at fullback. I think JJ did too.
No, I'm not talking about the fridge. I'm talking about something else. I gotta find.
Okay.
Brian Urlacher never caught a pass that wasn't a touchdown.
And that was what, 1 pass?
100%, baby.
How many? Now I gotta know. JJ Watt catches.
I just want to
I want to
say,
see.
this isn't an argument against Watt or anything, but I do think if they put Brian Urlacher at tight end more than one time, he would have a lot of career touchdowns. Because
Well,
Urlacher,
maybe.
he returned kicks in college and had multiple touchdowns. Isn't that wild to think about? Brian Urlacher was a 6'4", 260-pound linebacker, and he returned kicks in college. It was
That's a little goofy.
good.
Why can't I find offensive stats for JJ Watt? I feel like this should be tracked. Oh, receiving and rushing. Here we go. JJ Watt also had no catches that weren't touchdowns, but he had 3 for touchdowns.
Racist.
No. Genuinely, definitely not. Because both of those both dudes we're arguing about are white. And technically, one of them is a racist, and it's not the one I'm talking about.
Brian Urlacher doesn't exist outside of the football field.
And don't forget, JJ Watt's about to come back for the Texans for the playoff run. Dude, watch him like win a Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, I'm here for
Imagine. I'd be so down.
I would be here for it.
But no, I have always thought JJ Watt was the greatest defensive player I've ever seen. It's just not normal what he could do. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy who could wreck a game like that. And Aaron Donald's incredible. But I almost feel like a fucking Jordan fan talking about it. There was just something when you watched him, man. It was just different. You know, even though nothing else backs up what I'm saying, you just have that argument. I feel like a Jordan fan, and it's gross.
You feel like you're right? That's crazy.
No. Jordan fans are always wrong.
I don't like you.
That's fair. I don't like me much
your head
either.
in with that Wolverine cup
Do it.
or bucket. That being said,
yeah.
though, if you want to talk about hot takes, listen, I'll give you one. This is something
give me a hot take.
I'll die on. Since we're talking about defenders and...
Oh, real quick, let's go through the top 10 one more time just so people know.
Go ahead.
All right, so we've got 10B. What is his first name? Seiler?
Zach Seiler, yeah.
Zach. My brain went to Kevin for some reason.
That's
I don't know.
the second time you've said that today.
No, earlier it was Kyle.
Oh, wrong K. But they're both Williamses.
Huh.
Kyle and Kevin Williams.
Not brothers, though.
No.
The brother
Very
was Pat.
much not brothers.
Yeah, apparently I'm just thinking about Kyle and Kevin Williams today. I don't know.
You thinking about Caleb?
Zach Seiler is 10B. Well, we talked about Caleb earlier.
Your
Seiler's
daddy,
10B. 10A was somebody.
Hold on.
I already forgot the list.
Hold on. It was... Never mind.
Oh, it was Vita Vea.
I was going to try to say his full name.
Yeah, no, you're not. Yeah, no, you are not.
Tavita Tuliakiono Tuipilotu Mose Vahe Feoko Faletau Vea. I don't think that was that far off because I recognize most of those names from other players.
Fair enough. Then we had Christian Wilkins at 9, Jonathan Allen at 8.
Uh-huh.
I don't have them.
Jeff Simmons at 7.
Thank you.
Defoe, Beeks at 6.
Beeks at 6, Defoe at 5, Derek Brown at 4, Quinnen Williams at 3, Dexter Lawrence at 2, Chris Jones at 1. And I think, so Chris Jones doesn't really play nose tackle.
No.
Dexter Lawrence does. So those are really a 1A, 1B just because they're two different positions and they're the two best at their two different positions.
Yeah, you got to literally textbook 3 technique versus textbook nose tackle. Except the textbook nose tackle can also rush the passer really fucking good.
Really good. And even better when he's lined up against Garrett fucking Bradbury.
Yeah.
And then somehow it's Kirk Cousins' fault that Dexter Lawrence is a psychopath.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just to recap,
but also
again,
maybe
real
it
quick.
was Kirk's fault because fuck that guy.
Maybe. But just to recap again, just so there's no breakup again. Vita Vea, Zach Seiler at 10, Christian Wilkins at 9, John Allen at 8, Jeff Simmons at 7, Justin Madubuike at 6, DeForest Buckner at 5, Derek Brown at 4, Quinton Williams at 3, Dexter Lawrence at 2, Chris Jones at 1, or 1A, 1B.
I feel like we didn't talk about him at all. So Quinton
Who?
Williams,
Oh, Quinton. Oh my God. Centerpiece of the best
good at
defense, or
football.
one of the best defenses in football.
Yep.
I think he is the centerpiece of that defense. Absolutely incredible. Can
That's
rush the passer really
interesting.
well. Incredible run defender.
What would you give to be the Jets right now? A top 3 defensive tackle and a top 3 corner.
Yeah, but quarterback.
I mean, he's a piece of shit, but he could still be Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe.
And he's not, I mean, he's not a good person at all, but at least he's not Brett Favre.
True.
Or, Deshaun Watson.
True.
There's levels to this. There's
but
levels.
My little hot take I wanted to give before my allergies
Yes.
consume me. And this is more of like a hypothetical thing, but if you
Okay.
plucked Brian Urlacher out of 2000 and he was drafted in like 2020, he would retire the greatest defensive player of all time. To be able to move
I
the
don't know.
way he did at that size in the modern NFL would be unreal. Imagine Fred Warner, but 20 pounds heavier, no loss of movement, no loss of IQ, no nothing. That would be Brian Urlacher in today's NFL.
Hold on. Give me 2
Pretty sure
seconds.
Fred Warner's like 230.
Yeah, no, 230 exactly. Weird that you know that.
Yeah, Urlacher is.
No, that's not what I
258.
was looking up.
Oh,
It's another human.
okay.
Urlacher was what?
6'4", 258.
Okay. Now Urlacher was still bigger than this guy. I was gonna make a comparison.
Who?
I was gonna say, so Luke Kuechly, but
No, he
Kuechly
was still
wasn't
bigger.
that heavy. He was like 245.
But
So
that's my
much
point.
bigger than Fred Warner, but not
Yeah.
Urlacher big.
Yeah.
But Kuechly also might have had a higher defensive IQ.
Yeah.
Kuechly's brain was different.
Yeah.
Which sucks because he kept bashing it in all the time.
But I mean, Urlacher's physicality mixed with his athleticism, mixed with his overall frame and football IQ is, again,
Yeah.
we were talking about if you build a linebacker or build a player in a lab, if you were to build an off-ball linebacker in a lab, Brian Urlacher would come out objectively. He is.
See, and I wasn't a
physically-
Bears fan.
Mhm.
So, that's prime Urlacher was a little before my time, obviously. Before your time too, but you're a Bears fan, so of course you gonna watch,
Uh-huh.
right? I get that. But for me, that has always been Luke Kuechly. But
Yeah.
it's because they're very similar players. It's just I watched one.
Mm.
And there's something, man, about those Panthers teams. Him and Cam Newton, two of my favorite players ever to watch.
Yeah.
Cam Newton just different. Josh Allen is basically just Cam Newton, but a little better now.
Mhm.
I don't care. Cam did it first. And I don't know. We've never got the mic'd up moment, at least, of Josh Allen, where, the linebacker's reading out the play and Cam's like, oh, you've been watching film. Yeah, me too. Watch this. That's my favorite.
I don't know if Josh Allen would do that. I just
I
don't
don't
think
either.
he has the same type of personality that Cam did.
I don't think he has the same type of personality. And I'm gonna say it, and you people can be as mad about it as they want. I don't know if he has the football brain that Cam Newton did. People like to pretend that Cam was not the cerebral quarterback, but he was. He
Right.
just also had. It's like Mahomes. People that, well, he's just the most talented. Yeah, but his brain's different.
Uh-huh.
Cam did that too, while also just being an athletic freak. Who, yeah, I'm the best running quarterback to ever live. Of course I'm gonna run.
Michael Vick.
No.
Justin Fields.
The only thing Michael Vick is the best at is the best quarterback who's gone to prison.
Is that
Favre's
true?
not there yet. I don't know.
Another Bears hot take for you. I don't know if this is one that'll resonate with you,
Let's go.
but Lance Briggs is a Hall of Famer.
I think I agree. I don't think he's a first ballot guy.
No,
I think
Lance
I
Briggs
agree.
is that guy that you see him up there with like peppered hair, where he's like basically gray,
The old man.
and it's
yeah.
like, hell yeah, Lance, it's your
Yep,
time, buddy.
I get that.
Yeah, like he's.
I think that like early and mid 2000s linebackers from the NFC North was just fun.
It was different.
Yeah, it really was.
Even like some of because the Bears, they
Even
always
the more mid guys like
right.
Ben Lieber and EJ Henderson and even Chad Greenway, though I think he was
Yeah.
closer. I'm not saying he was nearly as good as Briggs and Urlacher. But he was
Uh-huh.
closer to those two than he was to a Ben Lieber and
Right.
whatever. But, AJ Hawk, Clay Matthews, those guys, that was just fun.
Yeah, guys like
good
Hunter
times.
Hillenmeyer, who to this day
Yeah.
is the only off-ball linebacker to ever rock a number in the 90s and make it work. Nick Roach when he was in Chicago for a little bit.
I'm trying to think of who else the Vikings had back in those. I'm going to just click 2006 and see what's cooking. Hey, back when Mike Tomlin was the defensive coordinator. Who else we have? We had EJ Henderson and Aaron Henderson. The GOATs.
That's 2000. That's a little too early.
Napoleon Harris. What a name. Don't think he ever played, but what a name.
God, I wish I was alive for some of these Bears teams, man. Although I'm going to be alive for the best Bears offense ever.
Hopefully, but who knows?
Yeah. Hunter Hillenmeyer, my
Dude,
goat,
yeah.
for real.
Hunter Hillenmeyer. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Love Hunter Hillenmeyer. I used to love him in Madden because I would, like, when I was first getting into football and first getting into Madden, you'd have, like, it was those three. And I would get so excited, I'd be like, hell yeah, it's Briggs and Urlacher. And then the other white guy.
And then the other white guy. Nice.
Yeah, Nick Roach when he came in. Ugh.
Yeah, Greenway, Henderson, and Ben Lieber was incredible. Jasper Brinkley, that was the name I was forgetting. Oh, he's currently a coach for the Vikings.
Pizza!
Or like a trainer or something.
Oh my God!
Oh, Miller, what you know about Jamarca Sanford?
What you know about Pisa Tino Samoa?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Same for you with Jamarca,
Yes.
my goat.
What you know about
What you know about Heath Farwell?
what you know about Nick Roach? I think I already said I did already say Nick Roach.
Yeah, you did. What you know about actually you do know something about Ray Edwards, I think.
What you know about John Bostic?
No, you don't. John Bostic was pretty all right. He played weirdly long, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Wasn't he still in the league like COVID year?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Because didn't he fucking nearly kill somebody?
Yes,
With a
he
shitty
did.
helmet to helmet?
What do you know about Christian Jones?
God, Jonathan Bostic was still in the league in 2022?
Holy Toledo. I think
What
we
the
gotta end
fuck?
there. I think we gotta end there. I don't think we can top that revelation. Geek, do the outro.
All right, yeah, that'll do it for this week. Let us know in the comments down below. I don't know, how bad do you think we fucked all this up? I objectively think we did really well. Non-biased opinion here. Definitely wasn't involved in the creation of these lists, but that's all we got next week. Depending on whether Jake is here or not, because I believe all we have left are quarterback and then special teamers / fullbacks. So next week, if Jake is here, we'll be doing quarterbacks. If he is not, we will be going over kickers, punters, kick returners, punt returners, regular specialists, and fullbacks.
Question.
Miller will have fun with the fullbacks. Saw, dude.
With fullbacks, do I have to adhere to the normal rules?
Yes.
Fuck.
Bro's mad. Bro
Yeah.
wanted to put Hunter Lipke top
No, I
10 so
wanted to
bad.
talk about Troy Hairston,
We can still talk about him.
but his neck died last year.
Yeah, we talk, but that's the thing. We end up talking about the guys who don't make the list more than we talk about the guys who make the list.
True.
So just bring him up and we'll yap.
Yeah.
And I'll make the argument that he could never return a kick for a touchdown, and Is it Andrew Beck better? Is that who did it for the
Andrew Beck
Texans?
did it, yes. But then I'll make the
Yeah.
argument that Trey Hairston or Andrew Beck could never block for or block for Dameon Pierce like Troy Hairston did. Jesus.
Well,
Holy
that's
Toledo.
100% accurate because Dameon Pierce, I guess, shot D'Amico Ryan's dog, and D'Amico hates him. So
He was a Troy Hairston merchant, I fear. Plus, Troy Hairston follows me on Twitter and reached out to me personally to be like, I love you. Not actually, but
when
was
is
like,
he gonna be on the podcast?
I am positive I could get Troy Hairston on here.
Dubs. But all right, I think. Wait, what's in the quick ball, dumbass?
Oh, the quick ball. The ball that
he
is
forgot
quick.
to do the quick ball.
Something is
He
within
doesn't
it.
even. He doesn't even know where it is.
No, I do. I haven't. Something is within it. Something is contained within it.
He doesn't have anything at all prepared. He forgot. He forgot.
It's okay. I got it. We just take my camera here and put it in the quick ball. No.
Oh,
You are
there
in the
you
quick
go.
ball. All
That
right,
would be
what's in
sick.
it?
Something really goofy. The tab from your Coca-Cola.
No. Although that would have been
Imagine. Wait, it would have been better. Is it just some garbage?
No, it's not. Well, depending on who you ask, they might consider this garbage.
Miller foosball. What did you, garbage man?
I don't think they're great, but
What are you? Is it like a food item?
no.
Is it like, okay, is it something from a movie, TV show, comic book?
Nope.
What the fuck? Is it a keycap? I don't know.
No.
You know, is it something technological related?
Yes.
And it might be considered garbage. Is it like headphones?
Close.
Close to headphones. Is it like a shitty mic?
No. How would I fit that in there? I guess like a lavalier mic would fit.
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was thinking. Like a shitty lav mic.
Yeah.
Like those weird $20 ones I keep seeing people make TikTok shop videos for, where
Yeah.
they're not using that mic at all. Wow, close to headphones and technology. Is it like? Is it a smartwatch, like a Fitbit?
No.
I got nothing.
Do you want me to open it and show you?
Sure.
You're gonna be really mad.
If it's earbuds and I said headphones and you said wrong, I'm stabbing you because that's obviously what I was talking
It's
about.
my Raycons.
I'm gonna have to stab him, chat.
Yes, Mr.
He knew
Semantics
what I was
is
talking
mad
about.
that I use semantics.
Yeah, don't use my shit against me.
Yeah, anyways, do your thing.
Yeah, but I think that's all we've got for this week. So next week we'll be back ranking some other position, and we'll be another week closer to the season, which is insane.
Yes, also
So
though,
Miller's gonna go upload this.
keep in mind the Bears are the only team with the win as of today, and will be for a little while. First
Keep
of all,
in mind that technically the best quarterback in all of football in the 2024 season is Brett Rippon.
Ah! Also, I don't like that face I just made.
Tyson Bagent not gonna make the team.
Well, that's just not
Rah.
true. You got to keep 3.
Yeah, Austin Reed gonna make it.
All right, you're dumb and ugly. Go watch this guy's stream and donate money to him so he has to stream forever.
Yeah, leave us a like, subscribe, all this stuff. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a rate, review, all the shit. Miller, say another word so I can hit my thing.
Football.
Bye.